Hi, my name is Travis Faust, and I'm on the sales engineering team here at Jamf. Thank you for joining today's webinar titled Rethinking Mobile from Zero Touch to Zero Trust, where we will focus in on all things mobile, strategy, security, workflows, and more. Let's look at today's agenda. The introduction is where we will highlight what the current mobility space looks like. We will define what zero touch, zero trust, and what a mobile first strategy means. And this section will help paint a picture on why rethinking your mobile strategy can help transform business operations and enhance security. Second, we will jump into some of the most common challenges that are mobile specific. Challenges such as multiple device types, different ownership models, security and compliance, identity, lack of visibility and controls, implementing zero trust, and establishing a mobile specific strategy. Next, we'll look at some of these solutions in action, demonstrating some of the most common use cases for mobile with zero touch and zero trust at its core, including mobile specific solutions for managing and securing devices at scale. Lastly, we will have some time at the end for Q&A. Note the content will be addressed at a high level for anyone managing and securing mobile devices in their organization. Some areas will get more technical, but if you're looking to go more in depth into any of these topics, please reach out to your Jamf account team. We will also provide additional information and resources at the end. To jump right into the introduction of today's webinar, let's discuss the current landscape within the mobility space. What does mobile even mean? Simply put, any portable device such as a phone or a tablet. Most of this webinar will focus on iPhones and iPads, both personally and company-owned devices that are accessing company resources. So we know mobile devices play a critical role in business, and mobile devices can be found in all types of industries, such as retail, finance, healthcare, technology, construction, transportation, and even manufacturing, where business operations rely on these mobile devices every single day. So what does this mean? It means that mobile devices are used and configured in a variety of different ways, and your strategy should support what's best for your environment. We also know in today's hybrid world, mobile devices are everywhere, and the number of mobile devices accessing company resources is increasing. The need to protect these mobile devices is more important than ever. If we look at a markets and markets report focused on the enterprise mobility space, they expect growth from 72.7 billion in 2024 to 133.9 billion by 2029. In fact, there's probably a handful of viewers watching this webinar right now on mobile devices. Mobile devices are everywhere and will continue to grow in enterprise environments. Again, with that demand, mobile devices accessing sensitive company data is also increasing. So here's a Verizon 2025 Mobile Security Index report that states 85% of mobile device attacks are on the rise for the majority of organizations. So security is top of mind, but often mobile devices are not getting the focus and attention they deserve and can become an afterthought. So I'll pause at that statistic right there. I mean, this is nothing new. Every month you hear stories of organizations that are experiencing data breaches, costing significant amounts of money and time, often because a single device is connected to the network that was compromised. And the worst part of these stories is the amount of time it took before IT and security teams even discovered the attack. We also have another one here by the Security Company Limited that reports that 54% of organizations feel their mobile devices are less secure than other endpoints, sacrificing security for speed. Simply put, mobile devices play a critical role in many different enterprise environments, and as adoption continues to grow, security and rethinking how to approach mobile IT and security is the first step in a digital transformation. So let's define a few terms as they relate to the mobility space, starting with zero touch. So what is zero touch? Zero touch is the process to automate the deployment, setup, and configuration of a device without IT involvement. This not only helps with scalability and time savings, but it also enhances the end user experience and increases security measures. Some organizations are already utilizing this, which is great, and we will touch on optimizing zero touch workflows during the demo section later on. Zero trust. Zero trust is a concept based on the principles of never trust, always verify. You have management, you have identity, and security that make up the building blocks of zero trust and is the modern approach to a strong mobile first strategy. You can ask yourself, can you trust the devices accessing company data? You can ask yourself, who is accessing the data and do they have permission to access the data? Are they authorized and authenticated? And is the device secure? For example, is the device passcode enabled? Is it on the latest operating system? Is it free of threats? Putting these questions together builds the core foundation of zero trust. It's important to note that zero trust must balance security with end user productivity. Mobile first. So, what does mobile first mean? A mobile first strategy is based on the idea of building mobile workflows designed to reduce cost and complexity while improving security and workforce productivity. So, this strategy isn't to replace computers or desktops, but instead is about rethinking mobile, making mobile devices equally or more secure and productive in enterprise environments. So, what does this really mean? Many organizations and their IT and security teams are focused on the right things, but more attention, time, and strategy is deserving for modern mobile workflows. Mobile first means mobile devices are not an afterthought. Mobile first brings the same security and end user experience standards commonly focused in on computers to mobile devices. This is challenging organizations to really rethink their mobile strategy. For fun, let's take an anonymous poll that's optional. And that is on a scale from 1 to 5. How confident are you that your mobile strategy supports a zero trust security model? 1 being not confident and 5 being very confident. 5 means you have fully implemented zero trust principles into your mobile strategy. And 1 means you're maybe exploring mobile workflows and learning about zero trust principles. We will post the anonymous results in the chat shortly. The goal is to get a sense of where everyone is at in their mobility strategy and start thinking of where potential gaps could be to enhance your mobile security. Now that we have a good understanding of the current mobility space, have defined important concepts related to mobility, IT and security teams can easily enable zero trust principles into their mobile workflows without challenge, right? I used to believe mobile devices were easy to manage and secure, but there are more challenges than one might think. Let's take a moment to discuss some of these challenges in the enterprise mobility space. Challenges such as mixed environments. You might need to support iOS, iPadOS, and mobile or Android devices. You might have multiple tools to manage and secure these devices, creating complexity. Another challenge is different ownership models. You might have company-owned one-to-one dedicated devices you might have devices that are used for work or personally enabled. Maybe they're just fully locked down for business use only. BYOD, bring your own device. It's challenging and often ignored due to complexity, having to balance privacy with security. You might have shared devices. The challenge here is transitioning between users and clearing data off the devices, making sure it's configured properly for the right person. Minimizing downtime with shared devices is also a challenge. If a mobile device is having an issue in a shared environment, where IT is not on site. Often it gets put aside, and IT doesn't even know about the issue until business halts. So we'll investigate some of these challenges more here shortly when we jump into the demo section. Another big challenge is security and compliance. Lack of visibility and reporting makes implementing policies difficult. If your tools are slow to apply settings or report back, that can be problematic. So you have management configurations to review, application updates, OS upgrades, identity integrations with access policies, network security, web protections, app insights, mobile threat defense, and more. There is a lot to unpack here. In fact, we could have an entire webinar on this topic alone. That ties perfectly into the last big challenge, and that is how to actually implement zero trust into your mobile strategy. Again, you got management, identity, security, all working together, often with different tools. It's a difficult balance between the end user experience and security. So at a high level, let's see how we approach mobile security at Jamf. And we often start with zero-touch deployments. And getting devices enrolled under management is an important starting point to security. Note, management is security too. Again, zero-touch is going to enroll the devices automatically, push out the applications and settings defined by the organization. You'll see some of this in action soon. And ultimately, once the devices are managed, the question becomes, how do we configure these devices to help reduce risk? Following a particular benchmark is a great starting point. For Apple mobile devices, CIS, the Center for Internet Security, and NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, benchmarks can be applied to mobile devices, and there is support for personally owned BYOD devices as well. We also have OS upgrades, and it is another great way to enhance your mobile device security posture. Apple's Secure by Design philosophy is a strong foundation and is a great way to increase your security. We also have inventory and reporting. You don't know what you can't see, and it makes it difficult to create policies or respond to a security incident if you don't know about it. Jamf can report on device hardware, software information, what configurations and applications are installed, how the device was enrolled, who is using it, and these mobile device specific insights and reports can be used to trigger real-time notifications and automations to enhance security. Not only can we deploy apps and make sure they're up to date, we can see what apps are being installed by users in your environment, and most importantly, their risk level. One example within App Insights is being able to view mobile app permissions. You can filter your reports based on Apple or Android mobile devices and filter for medium or high risk apps. You'll see the app, the version it's running, how many versions of that app are installed in your environment, and my favorite part is application forensics. Application forensics includes information such as permissions. Permissions can include adding or modifying calendar events, contacts, photo libraries, location services, audio recordings, and taking pictures and videos as an example. So you should be asking yourself, should this application have these permissions? If you have an app in question, you can also submit a app for analysis request to Jamf for review. I'll add a note for those supporting Apple and Android mobile devices that our Jamf Security Cloud picture is going to be your single pane of glass for those mixed environments, making it easy to see your entire mobile fleet at a glance. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to mobile security at Jamf. I'll also add a note for those working with security teams that need mobile-specific data. We do have data streams within the Jamf platform that allows you to forward mobile insights to a SIEM. Another option here to increase your mobile security is blocking high-risk content on the internet. We also have controls for web threat preventions that protect against phishing, data leaks, malware network traffic and crypto tracking, and network protections to safeguard against risky hotspots and adversary in the middle attacks. Next, identity. Identity is a major part of the mobile experience in Zero Trust. With Zero Trust Network Access, or ZTNA, we can secure SaaS applications, custom on-prem applications by creating access policies. This encrypts the traffic using the WireGuard protocol and verifies user identity using the Jamf Trust application. You'll have control of traffic matching and routing, and we have support with common identity providers such as Okta, Google, and Microsoft Entra ID. In addition to the WireGuard protocol for secure network access, Jamf also supports network relay and managed device attestation. Briefly stated, this is an Apple native technology designed for Apple devices that can run alongside other VPNs, where you can establish secure device-level traffic encryption to network resources. And it doesn't require user authentication or an application for deployment. And this is ideal for shared mobile device environments where users need to be productive right away without end-user interaction. Most importantly, we need to tie all these moving parts together. Zero Trust is management, identity, and security all working together to enhance the end-user experience. We need to verify the device is trusted and managed, it's fully secured, free of any real-time threats. And lastly, we want to verify who is on the device accessing company data. Finally, let's see some of these workflows in action, starting with automated device enrollment and zero touch. Here we have an iPhone that's going to get set up for the first time. They will choose their language, their region, and connect to a network. As the phone activates, it will reach out to the management server and opt into remote management. What's really cool here is we can put in acceptable use policies. We can also tie in identity, which is going to be a big part of Zero Trust on mobile devices, where an end user is going to use their work email to authenticate. And the settings and different configurations that we have defined are then going to be pushed down to the device. We can skip setup screens or enforce them, such as the iPhone passcode. And now the device is enrolled. Within a few moments, the applications and settings they need to do the job are ready to go. We also have BYOD, bring your own device enrollments. You can see this phone here has a personal Apple account already logged in. They can also go into settings to access company data and resources. They have to enroll. So they're simply going in, authenticating with their work email. Thanks to Federation, it's going to use service discovery to look at that domain and get them enrolled into their server. They can also log in with iCloud services. And what's cool about this workflow here is it's going to respect privacy and security for the user. It's actually going to make a separate partition between their work and personal data. And I love the screen that went by earlier here that's basically giving him information on what IT can and cannot do. As the device is getting configured, they now have a separate Apple account, which is their work email. And they are ready to get applications installed. They'll get a prompt here to install applications such as Jamf Self-Service and Jamf Trust. For those working in mixed environments, they need to support Android devices, company-owned, or even BYOD devices. Here is an example of that. The enrollment process is straightforward. Simply the end user will get a QR code by their mobility team to scan and set up their work profile. The work profile is completely separate from the personal data, and admins only have visibility into the user's work apps and settings. Also note that users have the ability to pause work apps at the end of the day if enabled. And you can see the device getting registered here. And applications will be installed, such as the Jamf Companion app and the Jamf Trust application as well. Great. Next, we also have web content filtering. So here is an example of a user using a mobile device, and they're going to go to gambling.com, and right when they hit search, boom, they're going to get a block page here. We can customize what that looks like. Jamf Trust is providing a notification, so the end user clearly notes why. Also, IT can get alerts when this happens in their environment. Great. Now, one of the biggest threats to mobile devices is phishing. This could be coming from an email through any browser, or in this example is a text message. Again, the second they click on a phishing link, our machine learning and AI tool is going to actually block that. Again, Jamf Trust is going to notify them, and IT will be alerted about it as well. Tying some of this together, based on zero trust principles, we have access policies. So what we're going to see on the left here, we have a resource called My IP on a Map, and we're going to create a policy that includes security here. We want to say that this device needs to be managed. It cannot be high risk, and Jamf Trust needs to be enabled before a user can access this application. So we'll hit save. And on the right, we'll have a phone. We'll see a before and after of this deployment here. To begin, we'll see them go to My IP on a Map. They click on it and access is restricted. Clear reasoning for the end user on why and how to address it. Open the Jamf Trust application. Jamf Trust will ask them to authenticate. And once we have their identity, on the top right of the screen, they should get a VPN notification and a success checkbox here. And then they'll be able to go back into My IP on a Map, and access will be granted. Moving forward to shared devices. This is one of my favorite workflows here. We have a mobile device, open setup to select your role, set to the wallpaper, nice clear instructions. We only have a few applications, very great for a shared environment. And what you're going to see is they're going to open up the setup app. We can have them then authenticate their identity with their Microsoft Entra ID credentials, email, and a password, user.1. We can also provide QR codes with a PIN. In this case, you're seeing them sign in with their email and password. And then depending on the role assigned to that user, they can select multiple roles, or in this case, they only have one role assigned to them, the nurse role. It's going to automatically select that and then provide instructions that they can start using their device. You're going to see they have an option to create a passcode. The wallpaper is going to change, and they have apps needed for their job. That SSO token is also going to be passed to apps that support it, such as Teams. Now, when they're done, they can reset their device by going to the Setup Reset app and tap here to end shift. They get a confirmation, and you're going to see this is going to change the wallpaper, clear out the data, and it will be ready for the next user. Now, what happens if they are using a shared device? They forget to reset the device, that is passcode enabled, maybe there's still data on it, whatever that may be. Let's introduce Jamf Mobile Assist. Can do a lot of different things here. On the left, we have an iPad, and it's already set up with Jamf single login, and we can verify that. They can open up the application here, and it's user.1, in this case, associate is the role. They have the apps and settings they need. In fact, they're already logged in with user.1 in Edge. And if we go to Microsoft Teams, user.1 is also logged in here. They are done with their shift. They put it back on a charger and they're gone. Now we have a device that is passcode locked and it still has data on it, right? So that can be problematic. Well, Jamf Mobile Assist on the right here can be given to managers or frontline managers, and they can do multiple commands using this device. This app can be set up for different automations. In this case, there's a lot of things that could be helpful. In this case, remote reset. They can choose that command, scan a device, and they're going to go to the wallpaper on this device that's passcode locked. That will send a command to clear the passcode. And it will also update the extension attribute, which will lock it down to just one app, the Jamf Reset app, because we want to protect the data that's on it. And it gives updates the wallpaper and provides clear instructions as well. Again, no data is available anyway. At this point, they can only do a full reset to confirm data is gone. Once they do that device reset, they'll get a confirmation and you will see the wallpaper will update and it will be passcode unlocked and ready for the next person to use that device. Really cool. Another popular workflow is return to service. Return to service is the idea of sending a wipe command to a mobile device. This obviously wipes the device, and the problem we've had is somebody still has to choose the language, the region, connect to Wi-Fi, and go through a couple prompts before it's back to a usable state. What if we could automate that actual setup process, hands-free, saving time and network resources? Well, there are a lot of different ways we could set up return to service. And in this case, we're actually using an application where the end user could initiate it. We can customize this, but they'll see a countdown to a return to service. They'll get a success checkbox here. The device is then wiped, and then automatically, hands-free, wirelessly, it's automatically applying the language. It's selecting the region, and it's actually reconnecting to the network automatically and going through the whole automated process hands-free. We did have a recent update to return to service that will save the app binary and clear the data off the apps in the device, but it will actually save a lot of time and network resources during a return to service to optimize the device refresh. And there it is. I mean, it's really quick, and that is return to service, ready for use. Another really cool workflow that we're hearing on, this is for mobility teams that want automations. We have mobile-specific workflows here. This is Jamf for Teams. The whole idea is using a template for automation and notifications, but really the sky's the limit here. The example I'm having here is wiping a mobile device, where I can come in here, select a template for wiping a device, and what's really cool is I can choose a trigger based on an event or a schedule. In this case, I can schedule a particular date and time. We'll say Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I want to wipe this device. I can target a group of devices, and there it is, return to service. I can schedule a return to service on these mobile devices Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the Jamf platform is more than just what you're seeing here. We have a lot of integrations, and the Jamf Marketplace is a great example of some of our most important integrations that can help you scale, add security, and also help with your mobile strategy. So for next steps, here's your homework. Evaluate and rethink what's possible with your mobile strategy. You can ask yourself, if every mobile device in your organization disappeared or if a device was compromised, would you even know about it? If the answer is I'm not sure, this is where we can start. Please reach out to us and we are happy to help.